Good afternoon, boys and girls. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Let's look at this problem up on the board. Follow along as I read it to you, please. This says, Samantha's family is at the library. Samantha checks out 7 books. Her little sister checks out 3 books. How many books do they check out all together? What do you think? What are our clue words there that tell us what that problem is asking us to do? Did you say all together? When we see the words all together, remember that tells us that we are going to add. Okay, so what are we adding? Well, look at these two numbers, 7 and 3. Let's add 7 plus 3. I have 7 on my fingers. What's 3 more? 7 plus 1, 1, 2, 3 is 10. So our number model for this would be 7 plus 3 equals 10. 10 books. Is that what you thought? Good job if it is. All right. Now let's look. Here are some other options we can do for strategies to subtract or add. We can use the number grid. We can use the number line. I used my fingers. Okay, when we are taking away, we're going to start with a big number and we're going to take away a smaller number to see what is our answer. Okay, so when we're taking away, we can either have a change to less diagram or we can have a comparison diagram. Today we will write 2 addition facts and 2 subtraction facts by using dominoes and my knowledge of turnaround facts, because this is one strategy to help me subtract numbers. All right, check out these dominoes. We're going to create a whole fact family from this one domino. All right, so if I'm going to start off by writing in my fact for these dominoes, I'm going to count how many dots are on top. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on top. I'm going to go ahead and write 5 in my top box that matches this domino over here. My bottom has 1, 2, 3, 4. So I will write 4. Now I have to find my answer to finish my fact. So 5 plus 4, for this one, I'm just going to go ahead and count all the dots. So I know there are 5 on top. I don't need to count those dots. I already know there are 5 there. So I'm going to start with 5 and then count forward. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, 5 plus 4 is 9. So I'm going to write 9. Now, I'm going to keep my answer the same because when we add, the biggest number is the answer, but I'm going to flip-flop my top 2 numbers to make a different fact. And I have to keep using 5, 4, and 9 in each of these problems that I have up on the screen. So if I start with 5 and 4, I'm going to flip-flop those 2 numbers so that 4 comes first and 5 comes next. Now my answer stays the same because I have to use 9. 9 is going to be my answer. 5 plus 4 is 9, or 4 plus 5 is 9. Now, for subtracting, when we subtract, the biggest number has to go first. So that's kind of opposite as addition, where I said when we add, the biggest number is our answer. Our biggest number for this problem were both our answers. So this 9 is now going to be first when I subtract. So I'm going to write 9, and now I have to use these 2 numbers next in my problem. So I can just pick 4 and write it down. 9 minus 4, and the other number I have left is 5. 9 minus 4 is 5, which means when I subtract again, my biggest number still has to be first. So my 9 is going to be on top, and then I flip-flop the other 2 numbers. I'm going to flip-flop the 5. 9 minus 5 equals 4. I have to use my 4. These are called related facts because if you know how to subtract it one way, you know how to subtract it the other way because 5 plus 4 is 9, 4 plus 5 is 9. 9 minus 4 is 5, or 9 minus 5 is 4. You're using the same numbers each time. Let's try another one. All right, help me out with this one. We're going to first count how many dots are on top. How many dots do you see up here? Did you see 7? And that's right, if you saw 7, there are 7 dots on top. So that's going to be our top number. 7 plus, how many dots do you see on the bottom? Did you see 6 on the bottom? Good job. So we're going to write that next. Now, boys and girls, we have to find our answer. What is 7 plus 6? So let's go ahead and count our dots again. Remember, we can start with 7. We know this top number is 7, and we can count on. So there's 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 7 plus 6 is 13. Remember, when we subtract, our biggest number is our answer. So 7 plus 6 is 13. Now we're going to flip-flop the top two numbers, and our answer is going to stay 13 because it's our biggest number. I'm going to write down 13 this time first so that it stays there. And I know to flip-flop the 7 and the 6. So 6 now is going to come first, and 7 is next. Okay, so 7 plus 6 is 13, which means 6 plus 7 is 13. There's our related facts. Now, when we subtract, where does the biggest number go? You're right, the biggest number goes first. What is our biggest number? Did you say 13? 13 is the biggest number, so I'm going to write that down first. And then remember, we just fill in whatever numbers we have left. So I have 13 first, then I can write down 6. And then we write down 7. We're only using these 3 numbers in each of our problems. 13 minus 6 is 7. And now I have another subtraction fact to do. Again, the biggest number comes first. What's the biggest number? You're right, 13. So 13 is going to be first. And then let's flip-flop the other 2 numbers. So 13 minus 7 this time is what? It's 6. We have to use the other number we had not used yet. So 13 minus 6 is 7, and 13 minus 7 is 6. Okay. Let's try this one now. What do we think about this one? This says, suppose you don't know the answer to 15 minus 9. How would our related facts help us figure it out? Well, if I know 9, if I have 9 filled in, and I know my answer is 15, what do I add to 9 to get to 15? Well, 9 plus 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I added 6, didn't I? So 9 plus 6 is 15, which means let's turn that around. So flip-flop the first 2 numbers. 6 plus 9 is 15. And when we subtract, where does the biggest number go? You're right, it goes first. So let's put 15 down first. Then we can write down 6. 15 minus 6 is, you're right, 9. We can only use those 3 numbers. When we subtract, where does the biggest number go? First. So we're going to write down 15 again because we're subtracting again. 15 minus 9 this time is 6. Okie dokie. Let's move on after I erase our screen. All right, now go ahead and grab out your math journal. You can pause the video if you need to turn to page 47, 47. You're going to complete the numbers 2 through 6. So once you get to number 6, you're going to stop. You don't have to go any farther. So let me draw a line up here so that I can help show you where to stop. So only up to 6. So maybe draw a line in your book too. So don't do 7, don't do 8. Now, your job is to first complete 2 through 6 by yourself. When you're finished with 2 through 6 by yourself, you can find a partner that's sitting next to you with your mask on and check your work. If you disagree on a problem, don't just copy down their answer because you don't know that they're right or wrong. I want you to talk about it. So talk about how you're getting your numbers inside of these boxes and your answers. Once you guys agree on how to do it, fix any mistakes that you have, and then I will check your work. I'll come around and check your work towards the end of the lesson. When you're finished with the book, you can go ahead and click next on Canvas to do your next activity. Great job today, guys. I hope you have a good rest of your day.